Thank you for joining me on another segment of Cafe Talk with Pastor Glover. Today, I have special guests in the house. I call them the youngsters. I got the youngsters in the house. Christopher Howard and Jordan. Say hello. Lord have mercy.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
If you all know, Jordan is my co-host on Cafe Talk. She hasn't taken the chair too many times yet, but we're working on her taking the chair. And then we have Chris, who is my, I don't know, he has no title, but he just works closely with me on operating and kind of trying to move the youth ministry along. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I just want to explain this before we get started.
Okay.
The reason Miss Jordan is crying because we were cutting up before we came on, so she's just in tears. So what's going on, bro?
Oh, right now?
Period.
Oh, school.
Yeah.
School going on.
And how's that with COVID?
It's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's interesting trying to do the virtual stuff. Trying to understand the way teachers want to teach through the virtual environment, knowing that everybody is not on the same level when it come down to like technological things. Mm-hmm. It has been a real effort,
to say the least.
Yes, a real effort. But I feel like that God is really putting my faith to work inside this situation. Mm-hmm. I don't have many struggles in school. So this semester has been a real faith testing. So I'm happy about it.
And tell everybody the school you attend and what you are going for.
Yeah, I'm a senior marketing major of the Southern University A&M College at Baton Rouge. So just had to put the out there.
You had to put the Southern. Okay. Anyway, Miss Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful.
And you're doing the school virtual as well. And tell everybody the school and what you're going for.
Okay, so I attend Southern University A&M College as well, and I am also a senior studying social work, and I do graduate in the spring.
Yay! All right. So social distancing online, has the grades been an issue since? I mean, is it a major difference?
Honestly,
yeah.
Yes, but in a great way for
me. Oh, for you, a great way.
Whoa, baby. I'm loving it. I'm like,
yes, indeed. Okay.
Like, oh my gosh, this has been such a growing season for me, like to just better myself and like work on my time management for other things too. Like it's just been a great experience for me, and honestly, I am so pleased with my grades this semester.
Cool.
So pleased.
And then me and you talked earlier, and yours is on a different. You do better in person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you know what? I want not to put you all on the spot at all, but I think that's good that we spoke about that piece because it's a lot of young people that's feeling that same thing. A lot of parents in the home that's thinking, you were doing so good when you were, but this is some people learn this way and some people learn that way.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that you all expose that as far as something you all are dealing with as well, so that the parents in our audience could come to understand that it's not their child, right. It's the situation.
Yeah, definitely.
So in any regards, what's been going on since with home? I mean, this is Thanksgiving season coming up, man. What's been going? Let's talk a little bit about home, family, stuff like that. How's everybody been at home?
You want to go?
Ooh, child. Well, I will say this. It's definitely going to be non-traditional, to say the least. It's just out of fear for some family members. They're like, I'm not comfortable. And a lot of people on my mom's side come from out of town to
right.
just like,
nope,
so
not having it.
We're really not sure if we're even going to like do it. Like, honestly, we've been planning to, like, me, my mom, and my aunts just go to New Orleans maybe or something. We don't even know.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of up in the wind, but
So there's relatives in New Orleans, or is just go to New Orleans
Just a
for
trip, yeah.
just a trip?
They want to like get a hotel, just eat.
I
and
got
spend
you.
time together. Because my aunt lives in Atlanta, so she's gonna come down. It'll be like a mini.
Man, you just gave me an idea. Okay, I'm gonna have to throw that at the table.
Man, I
Yeah.
ain't
What
even know
about you?
that.
Yeah. No, remember it was cancer, but then they,
No, I know. I'm just.
Y'all,
I'm
he be-
messing with you.
Yeah. So, in your case, what's going on?
Well, let me set some background.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't think of one time that my family did not get together since I've been alive for Thanksgiving at my grandmother's house or at somebody's house where my grandmother was like kind of like the leading person. But because of COVID, she's already said that she's not doing it.
Right.
So what she has proposed is that she's going to cook everybody like certain meals that they like, and we can just come pick it up and like say hey whatever, and then that's just it. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I want some meat and gravy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When you
It's just weird though.
When you say, well, of course, I mean, I can imagine that. And in our house, we're thinking about doing, we're revamping our home. I won't go into details what that means, Cheryl. Anyway, so we're going to probably have Thanksgiving over my daughter's house. But it's going to be the same thing. The same people in the kitchen. My wife is in the kitchen and she's cooking. My daughter, she'll bake, you know, and Graham, her grandmama used to be, she used to be the one in the kitchen, and she'd be making everything, you know, and Mom, every now and again, but Graham used to be in there, and she'd do that, her dressing,
Ooh, Lord.
killer dressing, you know, and I don't eat none of this stuff. I don't eat that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't eat it, but it just I know it was so good from the look on everybody's faces and the size of everybody's belly when it was over. You know, that must have been good. But in any regards, it's Thanksgiving. I was going to say Valentine's Day. It's Thanksgiving, and we cannot forget about our family in the ministry. You know, because I feel like family, right? You know. I don't feel like you all are on the team and that's it. When I leave here, I literally take you all with me in my heart and my mind, you know, my thoughts and everything. And so let's talk about the fact that even with so we have our family that we have to be distanced from, but then we have our family that we've been being distanced from as well. How's that been working out as far as, you know, trying to navigate that as far as the church go, the children go, the staff and all that?
You want to go
Y'all was
first?
gonna put me first,
I can go first.
but I mean, I'm
That's a gentleman now.
I got
That's, you know,
this.
that's a gentleman. Ladies first, you know.
Right.
Even though it might not be what it is.
Right. So, I'll say for me, just because with a lot of the teens, especially the girls, we do have a very like personal relationship with a lot of them. I'm very close to them. Like so, because because we were so like distant physically, I did find myself getting a lot of more messages. You know, like just reaching out. Like I got a few birthday texts that almost made me cry, and I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I mean, it kind of just showed that the relationships were real, and it just wasn't, oh, I just talk to you when I see you. It was more of a, you know, I really care about you. Let me check on you. Let me check on you. Like, you know, and so it just made me kind of happy to see like, man, this is not just a tradition or a routine type thing, and you just associate with these type of people in this setting, but it's a all around time thing.
It's family.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Well, when the COVID stuff really started, you know, I left. I went to South Carolina, so that distance was kind of like, okay, I have to be out there. So whatever.
Right.
I knew what was going on, but not all the way because I was so far away. So when I came back, you know, I was kind of expecting like a comeback, like we in it, like we back here.
Let's do it. Right.
None of that.
Nope. As a matter of fact, we're going backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I know.
Anyway.
So I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I was missing home.
Right.
I was missing home.
Right.
And when I didn't when I came back, people were happy. We were talking and everything, but it wasn't the same with the children, with the teens and the children, and with the team and the adults.
Right.
It's kind of, and it still is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Because you want to interact with those people,
embrace,
talk to,
right.
hang around,
right?
It's different.
Man, tell me, either one of you all, what you all work with the teens, okay? And we, even during this, we haven't heard a lot about the things that are going on with our teens in the communities and the state, city, whatever have you, because Donald Trump has been dominating the airways, as well as COVID now, as well as the social injustice and all that. That's been dominating. So we haven't really been hearing about the little pockets of things that's going on the television. But I hear them all the time. Being a youth pastor, I still hear families call me and stuff like that. And they're getting younger and younger, 12, 11. I had one family call me, and I think the child was under 10, I think. That's cutting up and acting out. I mean, you all are not that far from their age. Let's help. How can we help the parents? What advice can we give them to try to help them, to deal with those acting out or those changing conducts or whatever have you?
I definitely have something to say.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, two parents, because at one point, whether you want to believe it or not, I acted out.
We believe it.
Yeah. Basically, I would just say to first listen and to pay attention. And that may sound so easy and common, but it's not as simple. And sometimes I think parents want to be in denial, like they don't want to believe, oh, that's my child doing that, or oh, I went through that. I don't even want to think that my child's going through that. So it's like they kind of just brush under the rug, or don't really fully address things. Like really address stuff, like, and be honest and transparent, because it's like you go through stuff as an adult and you don't really like tell your child, hey, I kind of went through that. And so it's like sometimes kids don't even want to tell their parents, like, oh, they don't know, they don't understand. But it's like they're literally doing exactly what you're doing, and you're like fussing at them and be like, don't do that, don't. And you're like, but you're not even explaining why, And so just having an open line of communication, being a better listener, being more patient and transparent could go a long way in a relationship. Because even though we're blood, it's like you have to have that relationship, because sometimes that does not matter. And so like, because at one point I felt like, I went to other people to talk about stuff versus people in my own household, so being open and more transparent and just honest and not judgmental.
Wow, that was really good.
Thank
I
you.
gotta follow that. Definitely what you said. Adding on to that. Speaking from a personal experience, believe it or not, I used to act out.
We believe it. Go ahead.
And I can remember when my behavior shifted. Adding on to the things that Jordan said, they are so important: to be transparent, to listen, to be open, pay attention to what your child, what your teenager is doing, but also the motivation. Like, what are they motivated by? When my motivations changed, my entire behavior changed. Like when I became motivated to do different things, like the root of everything that I was doing. Because at first, everything I was doing was trying to prove that, I was like a man, or I was good looking, or, that I fit in, or different stuff like that. Those were my motivations. But once I realized that I didn't need to prove that anymore, and that I was now motivated to inspire others, to listen to God, right? When that got pushed into my life, pushed into my life in a good way. That changed all my behaviors. It made me want to be different. It made me want to act different. And it gave me the conviction that I needed. So when things came at me, I was able to turn like, oh, no, I'm not doing that anymore, because now I'm motivated by something else. So understand what your child is motivated by and try to encourage them to be motivated by other things.
Oh, that's good. And the Sunday we had this The message was, what kind of saved are you?
Yeah.
And I have an opportunity, a platform to kind of break that down a little bit. People might have went home and tried to say, the message was, what kind of save are you? Mama, what kind of save are you? I am not responsible for the actions after Sunday.
Right.
Anywho, we have a lot of young people and adults, parents, whatever have you. Let's just be transparent right now. There's people, period, who profess being saved, and they profess, they claim that I've said the sinner's prayer, which they've done, and they've given their lives to Christ, which they've gone through the process of doing it. Thank you. And so, but then when it comes to living it out, we don't always live it out. We live it out, and that's what that message was about. What kind of saved are you? Because are you the kind of saved that allows you to do crazy stuff and weird stuff and say that I'm saved because I can cuss, I can fuss, I can sleep around, I can smoke, I can drink, I can do all this kind of stuff, I can fight, I can do all this, steal, cheat, all this, but I'm saved because I went through the process. Are you saved like the Bible say? And I believe that right there is the piece that we have to get back to. We're studying trying to build stuff upon what we as a people or individuals have claimed that they've done. I've accepted Christ in my life. Okay, you've accepted Christ in your life 5, 10, 20 years ago, whatever have you. Has your conduct shown that you've accepted Christ in your life to this point? Talk to me about that. I mean, do we keep being quiet about it? Do we keep turning the head about it, or do we address it?
You want me?
Please.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
as somebody that now teaches in the youth ministry, and this whole journey kind of really elevated me as like, what am I responsible for, like inside the kingdom of God? So now it's almost like an obligation to preach that word out to other people in my school, my surroundings, who I live by, everywhere, social media, everywhere. So I have to display that. And as I sometimes pray, like what to talk about, it's like two different types of messages. It's one where somebody who's not fully convinced, they don't really know God like that. They're kind of just like, oh, I'm kind of in, but I don't really know for sure. That's the love message. Like understanding who God is. Then there's the other message for somebody who has been accepted, has accepted Christ as their Lord and Savior. They've done it for however long. Right. They've been baptized, going through the motions. And that's the message that I feel like you're saying that we need to preach. And it is time that we do speak up about those things, especially when somebody who has made themselves like, I'm a Christian, like this is what I do. But the way that we present it, it's like a gray area because you don't want to offend anybody.
I agree.
Because with thy love and kindness do I draw thee. So I always try to lead with love, right? Even with myself, even with Jordan trying to help. I tried. Didn't I say try? I said try, right?
Yes, you did.
But I'm not one to shy away from, even within myself, telling me and telling people, what's right, especially when I know that they understand it.
You said something. Excuse me. Let me cut you off. You said something. Telling me. Because I want to make sure the audience know it's not all about us being absolutely correct and we're just trying to save the world. Right. We got issues. I was in traffic earlier today, and if I'm telling you the truth, this person almost hit the front end of my truck. And I'm like, you've lost your mind. And I just preached about this Sunday. I just said this Sunday. I say, oh my God, what is wrong with you? You crazy person. And I was like, Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Get right.
Get right.
Gotta get you right.
Really? Instantly, like,
Right.
snap out of it.
Yeah.
You preached about it Sunday and you're going to preach about it again.
Yeah.
What are you doing on the in-between?
Right.
And so, yeah, it's getting ourselves right as well, Jordan. I mean, it's making sure that we are not perfect. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And we're not trying to say that. But what we are saying is, if you say you are a follower of Christ, you're cheating yourself
Right.
if you're not living
Definitely.
according to what the Bible says a follower of Christ is. You're not experiencing all that you can, first of all, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and then again, you're not living a quality bit of life.
Right.
And when you don't say something to people, when you don't address things that you see, you're cheating them as well. What you say about that?
I pretty much agree with everything, and I think that I think the timing of it, especially like just of right now in general in the world, like because like kind of bringing it into like a political standpoint, I guess like the world has been on such division, like for a while now, you know.
Yes.
So it's just like I think that it's just okay. So I was watching CNN the other day, and Van Jones said something that like shook me. He said America now has a time to reset and breathe. And like I didn't really like at first I was like, wow, he's like, and not just on a racial, you know, thing where like the I can't breathe thing, but he was like, but everybody can just breathe and like reset. And I kind of been like, I kind of just think about that every day, like I can just finally breathe, like, and what does that mean for me? What does that look like for me? And resetting and like just kind of, I guess it's like it kind of gives you like a standpoint of like, okay, how can I say this? I don't know, like you get what I'm trying to say, like
As far as resetting and breathing?
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like a time to give like for everybody to start fresh,
Right,
like
right.
you know,
Right, get back at the starting line.
like
You know, the
Oh.
race is okay. Everybody who ran the race, however, wherever position you came in, okay. I want everybody to come back. I want
Right.
everybody to line up on the
Right.
starting line again, and let's do this again.
right, because it's like it don't matter how far you were here or how you know, it's just like everybody can just reset and like start from the same point again, like regroup.
Right, regroup.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
It's like, you know, I think that it couldn't have been a better time because also with like the social distance thing, like everybody had time to separate individually thing, but like even though COVID is like getting worse again, it's like but still as a family, as like friends, loved ones, whatever, like we can all start over.
You know, I want to say something else. I want to speak to that too as well. I heard somebody, I don't know, we were sitting around talking, I think, at the house, and I heard somebody say, I don't know if I heard it on television, radio, whatever, but they said when Obama came in office, everybody thought that was the time, they said, to relax. Was that you? They said they thought that was the time to relax and, you know, it was cool and everybody, yeah. But I say, as it should have been with Obama, it should be now, don't relax. This is the time to do as they did, well, as the Bible says, time for reaping and sowing. This is our time to get up and move and do all that we can. Because there will be a time where there will be famine. And I don't mean that in the sense of what it means is definition. I mean in the sense of lack, change, craziness.
Right.
So if where we are, the current status that we're in right now with the new president or whatever have you, the new politicians all across the globe that have filled these different positions. If this is an opportunity to, if they're in a position they say, well, we're going to help, and they literally do what they say they're going to do, this ain't the time to just sit back and just get a handout. This is the time, if somebody give me 5, I'm going to go get another 5, make 10.
Right.
So that when it is a time for of lack or social unrest again or whatever else is coming our way, we've stored our storehouse up.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
makes sense, you know. And so now, because right now COVID caught everybody off guard.
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
And people were scared. But what were you doing before COVID?
Right.
Did you run to the altar when COVID came, or were you going to the altar before COVID came?
Right.
And those are the things. And I'm not challenging anybody's fear. I guess I'm challenging people's faith. Yeah, I'm just being honest. I'm not challenging your fears. I'm not challenging your sickness. I'm really challenging your faith because, no, I don't think I have the faith of a mustard seed because I haven't moved any mountains, physical mountains. But I do believe I have faith enough to move mountains in my life. And if that's mustard seed faith, then yes, I do have mustard seed faith. Because I just trust God.
Yeah. Woo!
I just trust God.
Getting good to me now.
I trust him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and don't mean nothing don't happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Right or wrong?
Right. You're right.
So
Yeah.
how do we convey that, man? How do we? Pastor told me one time, and I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm talking too much.
No, you good.
I don't normally talk this much. Pastor told me one time. He said, we were talking. He said, I'm working over here, trying to steer the young people. The adults, and you're over there trying to steer the young people. And you got a good place because you can catch them where you are. And then we had some other things that we talked about. How do we continue? And this is my last question. How do we? We need a breakthrough. I mean, what do we do? What do we need to do to get the young people to understand that just because your parent's not, or even if your parent is, you still have a responsibility. How do we do that? Some suggestion, something. What do you got? Close us out with something.
That's a powerful question to ask.
Good. We like to be powerful sometimes
Yeah.
here.
That's real powerful living.
So what do we do? I mean, what do? We can't do it like they've done it in the past because kids ain't listening.
Yeah.
So we gotta try some new things. I mean, give me some suggestions, some thoughts. No right or wrong answer. Just tell me something.
Well, this is what I was thinking because outside of church, I still work with kids, and it has been an issue of being effective in reaching them. And so we've been kind of like revamping too, and I think what we're trying to do now is meet them where they are, and like. So like we had a meeting with a few of them who we thought we could execute like what's going on, like so even if it's just pulling a few of them who can articulate what's going on, like just kind of having a round table, like talk to me about like what is life like for y'all, almost like a cafe talk, with a few, and just kind of like really just being a listener and like kind of hearing like okay, and how can we help, like, and so what if I did this, and it's just like kind of just having like a back and forth just to hear like let y'all be the voice for, let y'all represent everybody else,
right?
And so you get like maybe even a few girls, a few boys from different age groups even to see okay with y'all kind of going like the older kids, the closer to 17 up there, what are y'all going through specifically, what is like relationships, like stuff that their parents are uncomfortable talking about,
right,
that need to be addressed, and that it's kind of always like the elephant in the room type conversations. I think need to be more.
I like that.
Front.
I like that. Close us out, bro. What's your thought on that?
About to be pretty deep.
That's all right. Make it deep. Make it quick. I done ran over time. Come on.
Okay, so part of my purpose that I have discovered is being able to reach young adults and teenagers where they're at, like you said. This is an example. The cigarette commercials, the ones that used to deter us from smoking cigarettes, right? I don't know when they started running, maybe the early 2000s or something like that. We grew up watching them, right? There are stats that show there's a significant decline in our generation that smoke cigarettes because we were showed on the commercials where we watch SpongeBob or whatever, like it would pop up right after SpongeBob commercial come, hey, don't smoke, and then they show this graphic image or they try to explain and they hit us where we're at. I believe that we need to meet the kids where they're at. We need to meet the teenagers where they're at. We need to meet the young adults where they're already at, and convey a message that's so convincing, that's so tailored towards what they will listen to, what they like, and put it and distribute it out like that. There are companies, right, that spend millions of dollars on marketing, trying to understand the mind of their consumer, and then they make billions after because they've captured the mind of their target audience, and they're able to convince them to buy anything. It don't matter what it is. They could get them to buy like Apple. We just talking about you'll spend $140 on some headphones, then lose them, then spend it.
Then spend again.
Got us.
Yeah.
They got us like a hook. How can we do that? How can we invest inside understanding our market, inside understanding our consumers, and conveying messages to them that's unapologetic, that they can understand, and that goes against sometimes what traditional people will say? That's what we need to do.
You know what? I'm gonna close with this here. I think we have the answer sitting before us. The answer sitting before us is we need more young-minded, educated, and some people who've been in trouble before, because trust me, don't count them out.
Right.
You know, I was one. But those we need those young people who are you all that's willing to jump out there, that's willing to take that chance, that's willing to be different, that's willing to that will go against the grain in order to get the results that we need in our young people. Because I rather tell you something you don't like, and something that that your parents may feel like, well, when we were coming up, than to watch you die or watch you get pregnant or watch you do all these things. I just rather hit you hard rather than just let you sleep. So I think that we have an answer. And some of those things you said, as far as the focus group and all that, look for those things coming. I like that. I think that we can put those things in place. So what I hear you saying is, so thank you for joining me on another segment of Cafe Talk. Miss Jordan is going to tell you who our next week's guest is.
All right, so guys, be on the lookout for Miss Christy Perry to join us. She is very educated. She's a lovely person. She was personally one of my teachers that I enjoyed. So just be on the lookout for her. She's an awesome, funny, just great person all around. So be on the lookout for that.
And she is a social justice champion.
Yes.
So again, thank you for joining us on another segment of Cafe Talk with Pastor Glover. See you next time.